We're going to be showing you some quick releases. Can be used for race cars, can also be used for street cars as well. If you've got an airbag wheel, I recommend sticking with the airbag wheel in your car, but there are some people that change them out to different wheels. A lot of people go to the Prototipo Momo style wheel. But let me show you some different ones that we've got. So here we've got a Momo Prototipo. It has got a mild dish in it. It's got an energy quick release hub. Actually, pull both sides. A little bit tough with not being mounted in the car. Pull both sides here. It'll release the other half that's actually still on the car right now. That portion bolts to the car. It's just a quick push of those two. Comes right off. Put the steering wheel back on. Just rotate it. Locks right into place. That's how the energy design works. Not my favorite, but it does work well and it is fairly inexpensive. So that's the Moto. We've got another one over here that is another Moto Prototipo. If you look at the difference, this one doesn't have any dish at all. So obviously, depending on where you're going to be sitting in the car, if they both mount in the same place, one gives you a little closer to you, one gives a little further away. Depending on where your seat is mounted and how long your arms are, which steering wheel would you like? Each steering wheel fits a little different for each customer, so you kind of got to figure out what your needs are and then go with that. On this one, so leather Momo Prototipo. We've got an older style. Pull these two pins right here. And snaps right out. This will actually be mounted to the steering column. So this actually stays with the car. But when you pull those two, pull the wheel off, there's your steering wheel. Another one we got, which is my favorite. Steering wheel's not very impressive. Just a regular leather steering wheel with places for your thumbs. It's a leather grip. More of a street style wheel, as you can see. The Alcantara wheel, the first wheel I showed you, is more of a race wheel, being it's a little grippier, especially when you're wearing gloves like you would in a race car. The steering wheel is one of the competition Momo. It's called a competition design, but it's actually more of a street wheel, being that it's got the perforated leather. Kind of a little slippery if you're on a racetrack with it. I prefer the Alcantara ones. The suede ones, they do a little bit better grip with the gloves. But this quick release is by far my favorite. So quick and easy with two hands, or quick and easy with one hand. Just pops right off. The design of it is actually a design that is a kidney-shaped type nub, and it only goes on one way, so you cannot put your steering wheel on wrong. It's a very positive feel and lock when it goes on, and very positive feel when it comes off. Locks down in place. Never had one of these come off. Tug on the wheel once it's on, and you're good. So, now the whole reason for inventing these, a little bit of the history for it, is NASCAR and other races with full roll cages and all. It's kind of hard to get out. With the steering wheel, you get your legs out. Your legs are hitting the wheel. And it's just much harder to get out. But with the quick release wheel, whether it be the driver getting out if the car's on fire or crashed, or whether it's the emergency workers trying to get the car and extract the driver out of the car, say if he's unconscious or having trouble, they can just pull the wheel off, and now all of a sudden his legs come right out. No problem. Actually helps quite a bit, and it's one of the many things we've done for safety over the years to make this sport a little bit safer for us all. Unfortunately, it's also the most expensive of the bunch. It is all billet and custom made, but they're wonderful, and they're very similar to the Porsche Cup car quick releases. I opt for the more expensive one. It's also what we sell. For the more budget racers, we've got it's like a sprint car style wheel. This very inexpensive wheel. Some of the Spec Miata guys use them. I actually used it originally in my personal car. It's a really small wheel. It's easy to turn. I've got the strength, so it's not a big deal. The quick release also it's a two-handed one really also. You can kind of get it with one hand, but it's two hands is much easier. The other portion of it is a spline that can be welded or bolted into the car. And it works well. It's got a fairly good spline to it, as you can see there. Zoom in on it. And also it's just a good budget wheel because it is inexpensive. It's not quite as precise as the Raw Sport, meaning that you will feel a slight amount more of play in the wheel, but it's not too extreme or anything like that. Some people I've heard say that it bothers them, but usually after they drive it for a couple sessions, they are fine with it. It's not a problem. And then we've got the baby, itty bitty. It's off a Formula car. Little race tech wheel. When you got a Formula car and you're in the little cockpit, open wheel, lightweight car, you can get away with these, and they work great. It's an old school one, so it's still all the full wheel. And newer Formula One cars and stuff like that have a portion of the wheel or flat bottom, different things. And this has a one pin design. You just push that one pin and you pull the wheel off. It's got a little release mechanism inside there that loads inside. But cute little thing. And I believe we got these adapters. There are a couple different adapters here. You can use these, and they make them in different thicknesses, and different companies make different styles. But this one will bolt to your steering column, so you can also use this to adjust the wheel further out to you. This one's solid, so it doesn't give it all. More for race cars, more for ones where you have some collapsible steering column, or you're in harnesses where the harnesses are going to keep you in place, so there's not any issue of you going into the steering wheel itself. This is the traditional Momo one. It's been around for ages. This actually has a collapsible design, which is very similar to the steering columns in most cars, in that if you are in an impact and the force of another car is driven into the steering rack and pushed into your car, or if you're pushed into the steering wheel, both of those will collapse, resulting in you not having big chest injuries and get hurt a lot and live. So that's what we've got for that. This is also used as an adapter to space the wheel out, because this will mount in the car and then the steering wheel will mount to here. This would not be a quick release design unless you took one of the other quick releases and added it to this. A bunch of different designs as well for this. Sparkle makes them, O&P makes them. A number of different companies make them. So, all priced, these are priced probably about a third of what the most expensive one, Raw Sport one is. Just depends what your needs are for it and what you're looking to do. Got any questions on steering wheels? Feel free to ask. I'll answer all I can. Have a great day.